The Independent Electoral Commission is taking its school's democracy program to Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape this Freedom Day. It will be conducting a civic and democracy event with pupils from the Bethalsdorp Secondary School. This in a remembrance of the long queues of the 1994 elections at the Donkin Reserve. South Africa's largest flag also waves in the well-known windy city of Gqeberha. Let's see how the event is unfolding there in this live crossing to SABC News reporter Lwando Nomoy. A very good morning to you, Lwando.
Well, a very good morning to you. You are coming to us from Gqeberha at the historic Donkin Reserve. As you've rightfully said, that, it resembles the long queues of 1994. If my camera person, Gqeberha Slingile, would just pan to my left-hand side, you would see that there is a resemblance of Nelson Mandela. And as you go down, this is the resemblance and the symbolism of the queues of 1994. Right here at the Donkin Reserve, we do understand that the IEC, has went on an outreach to a particular high school within the Nelson Mandela Metro, which is Bethalsdorp Secondary High School, educating these youngsters about the importance of democracy and also embarking on a registration campaign for those who are eligible to register. But next to me, I do have the regional assistant manager of the IEC within the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, Crosby Bacela, just to elaborate more on today's campaign. Mr. Crosby, thank you very much for your time. Yeah. Just briefly take us through your campaign this morning here in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro.
I think everything went very well. And perhaps the reason for us to be here, even to select this place, it's because of it is a destination for tourists. And you'll remember that it speaks of long queues that are represented here. And the IEC has been managing these elections for the past 28 years, I'm sorry. What is important is that is to speak to students. We have now embarked as an IEC on a program of actually it's a democracy week where we want to speak to students to encourage them to register. So hence we have decided now to go along and invite your Bethalsdorp, a community, especially secondary school, so that they can participate. This morning, what we have actually seen, it's amazing because even the 30 that we have invited, we could see that none of them that they are registered, And you will recall that even our municipality, it's a hang-on municipality where at least it requires to have political parties that are actually responsible. So it shows that people did not participate during the elections. Therefore, we now have a responsibility to increase the numbers of voters within this municipality. Hence, we have now engaged in this activity so that at least students are now actually engaged and registered.
Thank you very much for that, Mr. Crosby. We do also have in conversation the provincial assistant manager of the outreach program of the IEC in the province, Julie Stanworth. Julie, we spoke about the low turnout of the youth coming forward to vote. I'm sure one of these campaigns will also bolster the efforts of the IEC to ensure that the youth, are involved, and they do get registered.
Absolutely, you're totally correct there. Our research has shown us that when the youth register, over 70% actually turn out to vote. So where do we go to from here? Our main aim is to get them to register. And as Mr. Bacela said, this group here, not one of them are registered. And they tend to not realize that if they don't register, they cannot vote. They can wake up on election day and you've missed the bus. Now's your opportunity. We're going to give them the opportunity here. And our entire program in the province, we're aiming to reach about 280 schools across the province and register as many as possible. In the Chris Hani region yesterday, they registered 40 new students. That's youth. That's our prime electorate. And that is what we're aiming to do, to get them out, to get them to vote. And we'll get them to be able to vote, should I say, because if they don't, their future is still going to be decided by others, by the minority, and that's what we need to change. When our last election, the majority opted to stay away. In effect, that means the minority still chose the future of the majority, and that is a narrative we're wanting to change in our programs, and of course aimed at the youth. They are future leaders. They know what they want, and also we found that the youth will not come and stand in our queues. So what do we have to do as an organization? We then have to go to them. which is what we are doing. Last month we did the tertiary institutions, which was also very successful in our province, and now we're picking up and including the schools as well, and taking the program to the youth. And as also to teach them about online registration, to show them that there's a QR code. You simply scan the QR code and it takes you directly to the online registration site, and you can do your online registrations. And unfortunately, the schools that are not participating are missing out on these opportunities of knowing that. But it is what it is, and we will certainly pay attention to those that are willing to hear our message and get them on board for us.
And obviously, Julie, this is a collaborative effort, because I see that SABC is also here, and also we do understand that this particular high school is located in a gang-infested area. This will also kind of educate them, about the rights and wrongs, in life.
Definitely. As a province, fortunately, our provincial leadership have a very good relationship with SABC and the Department of Home Affairs. And at some of the events, Home Affairs have been bringing in their mobile units, so the pupils that don't have IDs are able to apply for IDs, and then those that do have IDs are able to register as voters. And then the South African Police Services have been amazing and willing to give up their time to come as well to speak to the students. They've focused on, as you're saying, the drugs and gangs, and also bullying, which is coming into our schools very much. We've heard of very sad cases around the Bishu area, to talk about bullying and also cautioning them about, once they've got a criminal record, it follows you for life. So those are the kind of things, as from our active citizen program, that we are trying to do. But we've got, as you say, a very good partnership with SABC and Department of Home Affairs, and we thank them for that.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you. So those were the IEC officials, Mr. Crosby Gqeberha and Julie Stanworth, just briefly outlining, their plans and today's campaign within the Nelson Mandela Metro, and how this will also be spread across the province to other municipalities as well. But from us here in Gqeberha, it's back to you in studio.